Hey everybody, welcome to Moving Mountains. I'm Dr. Lance Knaub. I'm here today with my friend Craig Berberich, Employee Benefit Advisor at National HR. Craig, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're known each other for a couple years now through our kids' soccer and all those kind of things.
On the sidelines of the soccer field.
Yeah, so it's been fun getting to know you, and definitely we've crossed paths with National HR. I mean, Jay and National HR is taking care of took care of Breakthrough for 10 plus years, and did a great job. And I know you and I have had a lot of conversations with entrepreneurs, companies, small business owners, with ways they can get health benefits and figure out how to help people get good coverage and still,
navigate that wonderful world of insurance, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's
very
tough.
hard.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that. But yeah, first of all, for everyone that's getting to know you, tell us a little bit about you personally and how you've gotten through your journey. And I know you've had some entrepreneurial adventures, so we want to hear a little bit about them.
Okay. All right. I mean, where do I start even, right? I grew up in Bridgewater, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Central Jersey, just typical middle-class lifestyle, probably going to more middle, upper as my dad got more successful, right? As going up through high school and college and stuff like that. Just pretty standard life. I was never the great student, never was my thing. I probably just didn't have the right goals, know what I wanted to do when I grew up.
Yeah.
So really education took the side while, just socializing took precedent. Kind of same thing through college, never really had a great direction in college.
Yeah. And what were you studying
what I want to do
at Bloomsburg?
Just business.
Okay.
Business management, very generic stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that's helpful though.
Oh yeah, it all helps.
Yeah. It all helps a little bit.
Well, I always say it's always good to go to college with some kind of specialty.
Yeah.
It just helps a lot.
For sure.
You being a doctor, you understand that.
Yeah, physical therapy, but it took me a while. I started as pharmacy, but physical therapy, you have a career path. But with my bachelor's in exercise science, that didn't help me.
Yeah, it's hard when you just have that general business management thing. Yes, you can do anything, kind of, but you don't specialize in anything. So it's always tough to really find your way that way, right? Because you're not specializing in anything. You start at those, lower salary jobs. You really got to work your way up.
Yep.
Right. So that's how I pretty much got into the entrepreneur world.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't have a lot of opportunities to make any kind of real money.
Yeah.
So right after college, I moved to Miami.
Okay.
I
remember you telling me.
Yeah, I was a bartender down there, just doing a nightlife thing for a while. Got a little burned out on it. So I was really working one day a week. I had a pretty big nightclub, made very nice money, don't get me wrong. It was only one day a week. So you have to find something to fill in that gap there.
Yeah.
So actually I started dabbling in real estate a little bit, doing rentals.
I forgot about this. Yeah, that's right.
So was okay with it. I was pretty successful with it. Ended up not working in the bars anymore and just doing the real estate.
Yeah.
Did that about 6 months, I'd say. Maybe a little bit more. My timelines might be a little off. But I got a little homesick down in Miami.
Okay.
So my family's up in the Jersey City area now at this time. Once I went to college, my parents left Bridgewater. They moved out to Jersey City.
Okay.
My dad was still working in Jersey City, so easy commute for him. My sister was living in Hoboken.
Okay.
But the company I was working for in Miami had an office up in Manhattan. So just talking to the ownership there, and they were like, "Yeah, come on up. We're happy to have you join us up in Manhattan." So I ended up moving in with my sister. Stayed in a little railroad apartment with her in Hoboken, so she had to walk through my bedroom to get to hers. Not a lot of privacy, but hey, the rent was free.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So, started doing that. Again, it was just rentals, showing rental apartments to people. It was right after the dot-com era, right in there. So, some kids were coming out of college.
And you were showing New York City, Manhattan real estate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just as I said, rentals. The kids were coming out of college, getting jobs at these tech companies. They're paying my commissions and stuff like that. So it was an interesting journey. And then kind of got sidetracked with that. On the side, I was doing a little bartending at just a bar and lounge there.
Now this is a good story.
Yeah, it is. So, sitting there bartending, the place is pretty empty, there's nobody there really, and this guy walks in, and he's like, are the owners here? And I'm like, well, they're not. They're like, okay, well, I really need to talk to them because they owe me money. That's pretty much what it came down to. So this is the guy they bought the bar from. I guess they, I don't know the whole story and look into the financials of it, but they owed a little coin to him.
Yep.
And he came collecting. And he's like, I'm going to close these doors if they don't pay me soon. And I just asked, like, how much do I owe you? Right? And he's like, X amount of dollars. So I said, maybe I'll help them out a little bit. So I talked to them a little bit, and they were like, do this, blah, blah, blah. You get a partnership and all that. Just doing some math in my head. I'm like, why do I need you as partners if I could just pay this guy?
Yeah.
Right? Kind of a mean thing to do, I guess, in a way. Like, definitely feel guilty in the sense of being the mean businessman that did it, but it just didn't make sense to me to have the partners.
Yeah.
And when
it doesn't always make sense to have a partner. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I ended up, just buying a place outright.
Good for you.
New York's completely different than a Jersey bar.
Yeah.
You're not buying a liquor license for $1 million.
Right.
It's really just an application. Pay an attorney $1,000 and you get a liquor license. Right.
Okay.
So wasn't a huge investment. Obviously everything's already there. The dishwasher,
That's
the
genius.
glasses,
It's already fit out for you, and
there.
equipment. Yeah.
But the challenge, it was actually kind of funny, the challenge behind it was like, so these guys bought it, they only lasted a couple months, and they were trying to make it into this like we call it pre-game, like go drinking there before you go to the club.
Yep.
And then an after hours place after the club, you go back there to relax. And that was really their goal. But formerly it was like a New York City famous gay bar.
Okay.
So as I'm running this place, and I was just trying to happy hour spot, after dinner drinks type spot, good house music type of thing. But hey, man, the gays kept on coming.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to fight it. So actually it turned into a full-fledged gay bar.
Okay.
Yeah. Moderately successful. Did I kill it? No, I did not.
Yeah.
But, I lived a decent life, had an apartment in New York City.
It's all your business lessons, though, these entrepreneurial lessons.
Yes.
First go-round.
Yeah,
There's no better
bars
way.
are tough, man, I tell you.
Yeah.
Especially the hours are killing me, working from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. every, 5-6 days a week. I usually take one day off. I weighed 100. I'm a 6'1" guy. I probably weighed 140 pounds.
Yeah.
When I finally decided to sell off the place. So
it was just
it's
taking
just
a toll
a
on
wear,
you.
just sucking the life out of
that
me.
bar restaurant. I mean, I worked at restaurants in college, and it's tough.
Yeah, it was brutal. And I started dating Danielle, my wife at the time.
Yeah.
So she was in Philly. She would come up and visit me on the weekends, and she had to sit beside her bar. She didn't hate it, but she had to sit beside her bar while we worked the bar, right? So I ended up selling off again I sold off on a note this time.
Okay.
Right, to a group. They ended up renovating the whole place, making it like really, 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 really nice. They attracted an interesting demographic of people. And it was successful, but they weren't hands-on, and they hired a kid to manage the place, and he started doing some illegal stuff, throwing like after-hour parties when, in New York you have to close bars at 4.
Okay.
They were throwing illegal
4 wasn't late
parties.
enough.
It wasn't late enough, apparently. Cops raided it,
Yeah.
It caused me some legal issues because my name was still on everything.
Okay.
So I just negotiated something with the landlord where I just walk away, right?
Okay.
And gave it back to the landlord.
Okay.
Yep. So after all that, it's like, dude, I just want a regular job.
Okay.
I don't want to be my own boss.
Yeah.
I'm tired, right?
Yeah.
I need to put some weight back on. I did a good job, right? So I just work at, so my sister worked at a large format printing company and did pre-media, retouching, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they just needed some extra help because there's some big projects coming in. So I worked in the shipping department with them, making like $15 an hour. I was happy. I was so happy. It was just like, because there's just no stress, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, it just never felt that stress-free for a while. What happened? So then, of course, I climbed the ranks, and they started giving me more responsibilities and more responsibilities.
Yeah.
And, went from just a part-time guy to a full-time to manager to, dealing with the clients, dealing with Nike, Louis Vuitton, all these clients and doing their build-outs in their stores, and and then here comes the stress again. Which is another unforgiving business. I don't know if you know anything about it, but
No,
it's just
which industry is that?
It's like the printing, the media.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like the deadlines are always like this. The marketing department for this corporation, they drug their feet all the way to the last minute. Oh, we have this show next week.
Yeah.
okay, we're all doing overtime today, guys. You know, everybody's like, they're gonna shoot you. You know? Lots of late nights in these stores, building them out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it was I liked it, but I didn't love it. I wasn't super happy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't making a ton of money. It's a very cutthroat business. The margins are very small.
Yeah.
So they really can pay a lot to people.
Right.
Geez. So that company I was working for ended up getting bought out by PE.
Okay.
They offered me to stay, but I didn't like the size. It was going from a small, you know, I think it was 40, 50 employees, and the company was working up to hundreds.
Yep.
And I didn't like that. I didn't want to do it. So one of my vendors actually said, hey, if you want, you can come work for me. And he was down in the Trenton area.
Okay.
So I'm still living in, I left New York City, I'm working in Hoboken. So I'm like, you know, I'll do the reverse commute, it won't be too bad.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a horrible mistake. This is not a great place to work. It was a lot more blue collar, a lot more hands-on. A lot of employees weren't as nice to me as I would like. The owner wasn't very nice to his employees. 10-hour mandatory days.
Okay.
I was still doing an hour and a half each way, so it's 3 hours right there. So I was out of the house. You know, way more than you want. No life whatsoever.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I lost my sister.
Okay.
In there, and when I lost my sister, you know, it happened the day I was working. I was there. You know, at that point they're being very nice, like just take as much time as you need.
Yeah.
You know, so I left, and I actually never went back.
Okay.
Ended up working there for another same type of company down in Philly. Just was a traffic manager there. Pretty much dealt with the jobs as they came in and out. Again, though, just the money wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually took a pay cut to go there, and I was like, you know, enough is enough. I'm gonna go back to this entrepreneurial stuff because I don't want to work for anybody anymore.
Okay.
So I'm like, what did I enjoy doing the most? Real estate.
Okay.
So yeah, I got my real estate license in the perfect timing, right in March of 2008.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Those of you guys don't know about 2008, that's when the market went. Whew. So I was doing a real estate thing. I actually did pretty well the first year for a beginner, you know, but the market was just hurting.
Yeah.
And I was sitting with these sellers, trying to convince them to use me to sell their house, but forget that, they couldn't even sell their house.
Yeah.
Because they owed this much on their house, it's only worth this now.
It's upside down,
But they have to move.
Yeah.
And so it's these painful conversations, right? What's the options? You short sale, right? What do you do? So renting became like a push for me. I would really say, why don't you rent it out? And they're like, well, who's going to take care of it then? And I was like, light bulb, do business.
There we go.
I started a property management company.
Okay.
So that grew exponentially. Ended up over 3 years, probably managing about 300 doors.
Okay.
That's how we count things in property management, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all individual properties. This wasn't like apartment complexes.
Okay.
Right? So it was like just single family homes, right?
Yeah.
You know, obviously pretty successful business. Is very nice. Supposed me, I had a handyman on call and my bookkeeper.
Okay.
Right. You know, wearing myself thin, you know, probably should have made a hire at that point, but wasn't smart enough yet. You know, I'm young still. I was probably 29.
Okay.
And, you know, I just didn't understand that concept yet.
Yeah.
Right. The delegation.
It's all learning
stuff
lessons.
like that. Right. So again, worn thin. You know, I'm dealing with the pissed off owner of the property because the tenant's not paying.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with the tenants that are pissed off because their air conditioner broke on 4th of July.
Yeah.
Because every air conditioner breaks on 4th of July. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
Try to find a HVAC company to come out on the 4th of July.
Good luck. Yeah.
So I entertained, you know, selling the company stuff. I ended up talking to this one agent, and they said this one company needed a managing broker, and I'm like, I'd probably really like that. Now I don't have to sell the real estate. I don't have to deal with the tenants and stuff like that. I could deal with agents and, you know, train them, help them,
Yeah.
you know, coach them, you know, how to sell real estate. So I know we should deal with this company. They actually ended up buying my property management company, and they gave me a position managing their
Wow.
office.
So yeah. Okay. Great. Good for you. Creating something, an asset. And
Yeah.
so on. Nice.
Yeah. So it ended up working out well for a solid 5 months.
Yeah.
Until I found out the broker was stealing money from everybody. She went to jail.
Oh, wow.
But through all that, I got really got friendly with one of the agents in her office. She actually had a very nice book of business. She worked with a company called Fannie Mae. You might have heard of it.
Yep.
Yeah, big national insurer of mortgages. So she did the foreclosures.
Okay.
Through Fannie Mae. And so all this is happening, and she sees this, and she's like, her office is across the hallway from the owner's office, and she could hear the conversations, and so she saw this going really bad. And I was in the basement, I had the basement office, so she came down. I was like, do you happen to know what's going on upstairs? I'm like, yeah, I have a feeling I do now that I sold escrows and all that kind of stuff, so I need to get out of here. She's like, me too. She's like, I have a problem. I need to go to California for 2 years, and I have this massive book of business. You want to partner up? You help me run the book. I'll go to California for 2 years. I'll migrate back this way. Her husband was a doctor, had to get a residency.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe residency out in California for 2
Yep.
years. I said, sure. I already had the property management experience. So, yeah, it ended up blowing up from there. Me and her partnered up. The company's called CB Flaherty Group, CB, and then Flaherty was her last name.
Okay.
So I created the name.
Okay.
Worked under Keller Williams right here in Cherry Hill. And man, we took that business from Fannie Mae to having a ton of corporate clients like that. We're have pretty close to 7 figures on the business.
Congrats.
So it was very, very successful. And I loved it because I didn't really have to deal with, the everyday seller or buyer or anything like that. I was really just watching properties.
Yeah.
They didn't rehab a lot of properties, so I had to watch the rehabs, do valuations, very corporate level stuff.
Okay.
And I liked it, and it helped me. It kept stress levels down, I guess
Yeah.
you'd say. I mean, the hours were there.
Right.
Right. But we were running that until COVID hit. And guess what happens when COVID hits? There's no more foreclosures.
Okay.
So that literally just kind of, all right, got to figure something out here. Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like, do I go this direction, sell real estate, start dancing on TikTok, doing this whole, because I wasn't into that stuff yet.
Yeah.
I didn't even know, I didn't have to do it. I had
Yeah.
the business. And I tried for a little bit. I'm like, this is just not me. I'm too introverted for this. Believe it or not, I am an introvert. I'm a force into extroverts sometimes. So I had to make a decision at that point. And that's when I was talking to my friend from college, who I currently work for now at National HR. And I was like, why don't you just come work for me?
Yeah.
He's like, what do you need to survive to get you started, and that kind of stuff. And that's where we are today.
Wow. Man, quite a journey.
Yeah. It's been a ride.
I forgot about some of the parts of it, but yeah, so much.
I hope I didn't bore everybody to death on that.
It's all lessons learned, even the hard parts. Which actually, one thing before we take a quick break, how, from a mindset standpoint, for you and for everyone listening, how we always love to know people that have had big success, how they get through the tough times.
Don't bury it. Right, talk about it. Find
Yeah.
people to talk to, people you look up to.
Yeah.
I got much. I actually ended up getting a coach and stuff, a real estate coach,
Okay.
and all that.
Yeah, you're a great teacher.
Just to help, talk my way through some of these issues. Because at that point, I had team members. I was having trouble holding people accountable. Things.
Yeah.
My introverted self was, didn't like to push too hard.
Yeah. I can relate to a lot of conflict aversion.
Yeah, so I mean,
personally,
hey,
yeah.
I'll promote you. Get a coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're right, because that's how you're gonna get through it. Just don't bury it. Because there's a lot of people out there having the same problems.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, so good. We're gonna come back and I want to hear how you, with coaching and working in the insurance industry, how you make some time for yourself and stay healthy and avoid burnout. So we'll jump right into that. Everybody stay tuned, and we're going to thank our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot too.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, This isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
This is an unnatural amount of natural light.
Thank you.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad, once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm George. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm Metro.
Hello, my name is Seven, and I am Metro.
My name is Chris, and I am Metro.
I am Michael Barretto, President and Founder of Metropolis Passenger Logistics, and we are Metro.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot 2.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
This is an unnatural amount of natural light.
Thank you.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Welcome back to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Craig Berberich. Craig, we talked about a lot of good stuff, man. You've had some highs and lows in your journey, took on some challenges. Just by asking questions, being assertive, you know, when somebody was looking to collect money on that bar restaurant, that's pretty impressive. I love that story. So I always like to know how leaders, entrepreneurs avoid burnout, right? And you talked about like losing weight and just really compromising your health. Mm-hmm. You know, what are the lessons you've learned from all those experiences? How do you do it now? And specifically, I always like to ask how much sleep people get.
Okay. You know, the industry I'm in now is not that 24/7 industry, is in terms of the business side of it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get like completely burned out, like the real estate world where it's 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
Right. Bars, 24/7, 365.
Totally.
Even the printing business when I was in that was, I'm gonna say 7 days a week, but it was a lot of hours, right? Yeah. So where I'm in the spot on now, you know, you go through your rituals through the day, your cold calls, your emails, you manage your business and all that, and then you have, a couple of nights a week you're going out to networking events, networking lunches, sometimes breakfasts too, but it's not over strenuous, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the hours you're putting in,
right?
But the thing that beats you up the most is the wear and tear of getting the no so often, right?
Yeah.
You're constantly grinding.
That's what's hard about sales. I don't think I'm cut up for it.
Yeah, it's tough, especially
like
this industry.
Yeah.
It's very relationship oriented, and we're just talking about one of your partners, right?
Yeah.
And he said, good luck getting his business. Like the CEO's roommate from college does what you do.
Yeah.
Good luck. And there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then you have the smaller companies, the 20 to 40 employee space, where usually the broker's like a family member, or like, right? And so it's just a tough, and it's a long sales process.
Right.
So like you have them 3 meetings before they're like, we'll hire you, and then of course they'll drag their fee about signing over the contract to you, and it's just like, you said you're gonna sign it. Oh, we'll sign it. Okay, we need you to sign it. And you're sitting there like every day. So that's stressful too.
Yeah.
Just waiting on those things to kind of come through. So the sales cycle's longer. But in terms of just keeping up with it. And, you have a routine.
Yeah.
Try to stick with it. I try to get to the office by 8:30. 8:35, 8:40. I drop my son off at school at 8:10, and it just depends on traffic. Get into the office. I'm an office guy. We do have the option to work remote a lot, but I always go to the office. Just need a space to get away from Danielle. Sorry, Danielle.
It keeps a healthy relationship.
Yes, it does. And I like just going out to a lunch. Sometimes I'll go by myself, just sitting at Whole Foods and getting lunch. I like that. I can't just work at home. Make a sandwich in the kitchen. Then go back to your computer at home. I just don't feel like I'm at work.
Yeah.
Right? You might be productive. You just don't feel like I'm being productive enough.
Yeah, for sure.
And after work, it's straight to the gym.
Okay, good. So you have time for fitness.
At least 3 days a week, if not more, depending on sports schedules.
Yep.
Right. I have to lug my kids all over the place for sports.
Yep.
I'm a lacrosse coach too.
Okay.
So I have to coach my son's team in the spring. That really adds a little poundage to me because, you're doing that 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't get to the gym as often there.
Right.
But you alleviate your stress out in the field anyway, yelling at the kids. So.
Yeah.
That works. I love them all, but they do get yelled at a lot.
Understood.
So, but yeah, I like my lifestyle now much better than as going through my 20s
How
and
much
30s.
sleep?
Much healthier. I don't smoke anymore. Like I smoked up until like my 30-something.
Anything from mindset, mental health, and how much sleep do you get on
I
average?
never get enough sleep.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
That just doesn't happen. I guess my body's just used to it now. Okay. I'm definitely, though, I can sleep on the back end of the morning, when I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Right? I can definitely sleep in a little bit. But a 12 to 7 guy.
Okay, so 7's not bad.
Yeah. So it's pretty normal for me.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes I'll get in bed a little bit earlier than that. As the kids get older, they put themselves to bed a little easier, so I can get myself to bed a little earlier. Because I always need that wind down after I get them to bed. And even put Danielle to bed.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just go downstairs just to alone time.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I feel I'm on a good path, in terms of mindset and health.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Did you do anything specifically for mindset?
Not so much anymore. I did get to some meditation stuff.
Yeah.
A lot.
What kind of meditation did you do?
Another coach actually, my real estate coach. I'm paying this guy to pretty much recite. What's that book? Something Morning.
Miracle Morning.
Miracle Morning.
Yeah.
So he's going through his own slides and all that, and I was like, meditation, and I'm like, come on, dude, you stole this all from Miracle Morning. He's like, I'm not rewriting the book. Well, you kind of are, dude.
That's classic. Yeah.
So just read, write a little bit, meditate a little bit, and when I say meditate, it's never hardcore.
Yeah.
What was it called? Mindful Motivation, I think, was something on YouTube I would just listen to. And I still do it every once in a while. I can't fall asleep at night. I'll just plug my earbuds in, and it'll kind of relax me a little bit to the point where I'll fall asleep with my headphones in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more into meditation. I just finished Joe Dispenza's book, and I want to try his meditations. And there's so much out there.
It's more just the breathing of it, and I'll still do it. Like sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. You probably the same way. It's like, I was a little nervous about this.
Yeah.
Right. So I just went outside. I was at my office. I had a call at 3. It's done by like 3:40. I knew I had to leave my office by 4 to get here. So I just went outside, sat on the bench outside our office. And now, is that meditation? No, I'm not sitting there with my eyes closed going, no.
Yeah, that's probably you got
I was just breathing,
combination.
man.
Breathing.
I had a stressful meeting at 3, and then I was a little nervous about coming here. So,
well, good. You're doing great. So you can relax.
Help me relax coming here.
Yeah.
And it works.
So, with your whole journey, it seems like you really are, you love coaching, as with your son. How do you apply, some of those skills and passions with coaching into, both youth coaching and with the organization right now?
I'm not at a management level, so I'm not managing people.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just weird for me actually also, but everybody, we're all independent contractors in that office. So we kind of all run our small little businesses side. All right. So I really don't have to get into that leadership role ever, which I kind of like right now. It's a little something different, right? I said the word introvert a few times on here. It helps with that introvert self where I'm not, worried about somebody else and what they're doing. I help out the team when I can. I'm still kind of new in the industry, so I don't know everything about it. So it's actually more of me being led than anything, by our ownership.
How do you take on that challenge of like a newer industry?
It's tough.
How are you approaching that?
It's very tough. Yeah. It everything has its ups and downs. So I first got in, you're gung ho, and you're going full speed ahead, and then it's just like whether you hit a wall or you got so many no's, you kind of beat yourself up a little bit, right? Or you screw up an appointment because you don't know the answer, and you feel kind of dumb, right? Because you don't know the answers a lot of times. So it's just different because I was in the real estate world, I knew everything.
Okay,
right? I had no problem calling anybody because I knew more than them. I knew that. Now sometimes I call people and they know more about insurance than I do, right? Some of these HR divisions and companies, they've been dealing with benefits their whole lives, and I've been dealing with 3 years. So that's probably the biggest challenge is the confidence, to have the confidence that you could go in and even though you might not know everything, you still sell your product.
And how are you handling these no's now in this particular industry? How are you taking that on?
It's got to be. It's just you can't beat yourself up.
Totally.
Yeah. Especially in the beginning, I would beat myself up. Like, what did I do wrong here?
Yeah.
Which you always want to reflect on what you think you do wrong and what you can improve on.
Yeah.
Especially as you verbalize things and communicate. Because it's tough over the phone these days. To explain our models and explain how everything works and stuff like that. But it's also harder to get that meeting. So you usually have to get through the phone. Then you have a team meets. Then maybe you'll meet him in person.
Yeah.
Right. If you meet him in person. Right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a challenge on, how do you navigate each step? And how do you communicate along those steps? Right. Because you got your, the 30,000 foot view, over the phone. That's really your give. Like, I really just show you this on paper. To show you the numbers, right? Then you have the Excel spreadsheet you're kind of trying to move around,
right?
On the screen, on team meets, and you're like, okay, does this make sense to you now? Now can we meet?
Yeah.
Now could I meet your boss? Really?
Yeah. Well, you got to get to the decision maker.
Yeah. But in terms of no, you get it so often, you just move on to the next one.
Okay, that's good.
Don't beat yourself up.
Good mindset. So if you were to boil down all the lessons you've learned in your journey for people that really want to have, the highest levels of success, what would you say?
Keep learning.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. You just can't stop. You got to educate yourself.
Right.
You got to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
To be successful.
Okay.
Right.
Because it's so. I sort of had the mindset like in high school, college, whatever. It's like you learn in school and then
It never stops.
Yeah, either I wasn't listening or it wasn't really mentioned. It's just beginning.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that time.
like, the amount of podcasts I listen to just on that kind of stuff. It's like I listen to this podcast now because it ties more into business. I'm doing. It's called Outbound Squad, and it's just how to cold call CEOs, pretty much, or CEOs, CFOs, and that kind of stuff. It's more steered towards tech sales. That's the big thing now.
Okay.
You know, but those are the type of podcasts I listen to. And it just gives you little nuggets of information of how to get through that gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Get that person to actually read the email you're sending to them. Right?
Any other tool like that podcast that you want to share, and any other kind of message that we didn't talk about that you want to mention?
No, I think I say just grind it out, man. Like, if you got to grind. If you want something, you got to grind. So figure out what you want, and then go get it.
Yeah.
And the only way to get it is work.
For sure, you got to put in the reps.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and reps what perfect things too, right? So the more reps you do something, the better you get at it.
Yep.
Then you become a serial entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, for sure. How can everybody get in touch with you? National HR?
Yeah, Craig Berberich, National HR. We got a website, nationalhr.com. You can call my cell. It's 856-745-8909. Happy to help you any way I can.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and you guys, you active on social, LinkedIn at least, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't know my handle off the top of my head. But if you type in Craig Berberich, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty big on LinkedIn.
Yep. Okay.
And then obviously Facebook, Instagram. I don't do a lot of Instagram stuff.
And maybe one last thing who are the people that you want to serve? So what size company? Or they would get a second quote, second opinion?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we service anywhere from 2 people.
Yeah.
Up to 600-700.
Okay.
Really, it's a huge range. Love helping a small guy. They're actually harder to work with because they don't have an HR department. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But you help a small guy. They're so grateful, right? They're great, especially the mom and pop shops. They're so grateful about saving the $5,000 a year because that $5,000 is usually their part of college tuition.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, or a car for the teenager or something like that. So they're just so grateful. And that usually leads to referrals that lead to bigger things.
I love it. Yeah, and
so
I found
nothing's too small.
Totally. No, that's good to know for everyone listening. Yeah, and I found you guys so innovative.
Our model is definitely unique. I can share it to the world this way,
Yeah.
Intellectual property, but definitely have a unique way to deliver the benefits. So it's a win-win for the employee and the employer. The employer gets to save a ton of money on their premiums, while the employee gets to save a lot of money on their out-of-pocket expenses, their deductibles, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I think you guys worked within the model when we had you, so you definitely understand it. It's definitely a lot different than the old school way of doing things.
Yeah.
It is just an old business, right? So, we're definitely, the outliers, just doing it different.
Yeah,
right?
and health insurance is not going anywhere, right? Everybody needs it, so
absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for joining today. So much good stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That was great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome, brother. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And please check out Craig and National HR for any health insurance needs. And join us again next week for our next episode.